get into today's video, I just kind of wanted to discuss a couple things with you first. So EKTACHROME is back and we are all really excited. This is a film emulsion that I have admired my entire life. Looking through the pages of a National Geographic, those vivid colors would just pop out and really stand out in my mind. I never had a chance to shoot EKTACHROME before it was discontinued, so I was really excited to get my hands on some this time. But that means that I am in no way an expert on slide film, especially not EKTACHROME. There will be no kind of professional opinion here. I'm basically outing myself as a newbie with slide film. Even prior to having a YouTube channel, I think I'd shot maybe like 1 or 2 rolls. So I really don't know much about slide film. When I shot this video, it was a couple months ago back in the fall. And I really needed some time to kind of wrap my head around things. I'm the kind of person that when I go out and shoot a project, especially one that will last over a few months or even a year, I like to have one film emulsion. I like the continuous look, the results that I get throughout, so I stick to one film type. And sometimes I find myself in situations where I actually have to push the film. You know, it could be dimly lit. Anyways, I'm not going to let something silly like ISO get in the way of getting my shot or not. So when EKTACHROME came back out, I was really excited to try and see what this film could do. So I intended to shoot it at 100, 200, and 400 speeds. Now, about halfway through the shoot, I actually realized that my camera was not reacting the way I thought it should. It seemed to be maybe a little bit too cold for the battery. Maybe the battery was even dying. I'm not sure, but it seemed like it was misfiring. I decided to just go with it anyways and see what I got. So I ended up accidentally underexposing a roll by one whole stop. So what we're actually going to see here is what EKTACHROME looks like underexposed by a stop, shot at 100, and shot at 400, and push process to 400. I'm not really sure what else to say about this right now, so I think we should just dive right into the video. It is winter up in Canada right now, and freezing cold. We have very little light in our days, so I'm really excited to just jump back into that sunny fall day. So without further ado, here it is, EKTACHROME. Okay, so for those of you who have been following my channel from the beginning, you'll know this look, my ultra tourist look. I just love taking these cameras out so much that I couldn't wait to have another opportunity, such as this one. I'm so excited. All right, so for the last few days, we have actually been really hard at work on the farm to put up these greenhouses. If you remember from previous video, we were actually taking them down on our friend's farm so that we could move them here, and now we're hard at work to put them back up. I decided to take the afternoon off so that I could shoot this video, but this has definitely been a lot of hard work, so I thought that this would be a great place to start off. Okay, so we're gonna get in the car and take a little drive. This time of year, everyone's got their combines out, they're bringing in the corn and the soya. There's some really rich golden tones out there. So I'm kind of excited to see what that will look like. And we're gonna try to make it back here for sunset, but I wanna get out there before the light fades. That's it, my first experience shooting Ektachrome. I'm actually kind of happy with the results nonetheless. I did find that the underexposed roll I found the images weren't really usable for my own personal taste. I found that there's a loss of detail in the shadows that I didn't really like. But it's really nice to know what happens when I end up underexposing by accident, as we all have done at some point, right? I did actually find as well that there were some similarities between the 400 speed and the underexposed rolls. I noticed that there was a bit of loss in the shadow detail as well, and there seemed to be this kind of odd reddish cast throughout the mid-lows and shadow areas that I'm not particularly a fan of. But so that also kind of makes me wonder if maybe my 400 roll was actually underexposed as well. I have seen that before shooting color negative film. I shot a whole year's project on Agfa Vista 400, and at times when I would have to push the film to 1600, I noticed that I would lose certain qualities. And about a month in, that's when I realized that I should actually be shooting it at 1200 and then push process to 1600, which then yielded much better results. So I'm actually quite curious to see how this film could look if I rated it at, say, 320 and then push process to 400 instead. And I would actually also kind of like to see what it would look like if I shot it at 80 and then processed it for 100. You know, it might be kind of nice to have that third stop of extra exposure in my back pocket in case I make more mistakes. But I wouldn't want to lose those vibrant colors. I do want to see what these films will do. I probably won't make another video about that, but if any of you have any experience with any of those scenarios, or even if you just want to share any experience you've had shooting Ektachrome, put it in the comments below. Share your Instagram pages, your websites, Flickr pages, whatnot. I'm really interested to see what all of you are getting as results, and I think that there are other people out there who would be interested as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave you with a few images that I shot on a separate day. I didn't actually finish off the rolls of film on the same sunny day. I finished them off the next day, which ended up being quite cloudy. It was actually even raining a bit. It was a very dull, flat kind of day. And normally I wouldn't have even taken out a camera, but I really needed to finish off these rolls. And I actually thought that the results were quite interesting, which is why I want to share them with you now. They're definitely cold. There's a lot of bluish cast to them, but I thought that they were actually quite neat. So I'm going to leave you with all of that. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next video.